Admiral Jake Morrison stood at the big window of his ship, the UES Liberty. He looked out at the alien ships floating around Earth. The ships belonged to the Galactic Council, 12 old alien races that ruled the galaxy. For 3 years, humans had been part of this council. Jake thought they were friends and protectors. Captain Lisa Blake walked up to him. She carried a tablet with bad news. "Admiral, we have a problem," she said. Her face looked worried. "Our colonies on the outer planets have stopped talking to us." Jake turned to look at her. "What do you mean?" "Colony after colony has gone silent. First it was New Texas, then New California. Now we can't reach New Colorado either." Lisa showed him the data on her tablet. "The last message we got was 3 days ago." Jake felt something cold in his stomach. "What does the council say about this?" "They say it's space pirates. Ambassador Zethkree told our government that council ships are hunting down the pirates. He says we shouldn't worry." But Jake was worried. Very worried. He had been a soldier for 30 years. He knew when something felt wrong. This felt very wrong. Far away on New Colorado, Henry Walsh hid in an underground bunker with his wife and 2 children. Above them, the colony burned. Henry was a farmer who had come to this planet to grow food for Earth. Now he watched through a small camera as alien ships destroyed everything he had built. But these were not pirate ships. These were council ships, the same ships that were supposed to protect humans. Henry had seen the council symbol on their hulls before they started shooting. "Dad, I'm scared," his daughter Emma said. She was only 8 years old. "It's okay, sweetheart," Henry said, but he was scared too. He had to do something. He had to warn Earth. Henry went to his emergency radio. It was old and simple, the kind that space pirates couldn't easily track. He started recording a message. "This is Henry Walsh on New Colorado. The council ships are attacking us. They're not here to help. They're destroying everything. The pirates. Story is a lie. Don't trust them. Don't trust the council." He sent the message toward Earth, hoping someone would hear it. Back on Earth, Dr. Amanda Foster worked in her lab. The council had given humans many gifts when they joined the galactic community. New computers, better engines for ships, medical tools that could cure diseases. Amanda's job was to study these gifts and learn how they worked. But today she found something strange. Hidden deep in the alien computer code were programs that didn't belong there. These programs could watch everything humans did. They could even shut down human systems if someone far away gave the right command. Amanda's hands shook as she looked at the code. Every piece of council technology had these hidden programs. The aliens could spy on humans anytime they wanted. They could turn off human ships, human weapons, even human life support systems. She grabbed her phone and called her assistant. "Get me Admiral Morrison right away. This is urgent." On the UES Liberty, Jake was having dinner with his officers when the call came in. He answered it quickly. "Admiral, this is Dr. Foster. I need to see you immediately. I found something terrible in the council technology." "What kind of something?" "The kind that could kill us all." Jake felt that cold feeling in his stomach again. "Come to my ship right away. Bring everything you found." 2 hours later, Dr. Foster sat in Jake's office. She showed him the hidden programs on her computer. "They can control everything, Admiral. Our ships, our weapons, our cities. Everything that uses council technology has these spy programs." Jake stared at the screen. "How long have these been there?" "Since the beginning. Since the first day we got council technology 3 years ago." Lisa Blake looked at the data too. "They've been watching us this whole time?" "Yes. And they can shut us down anytime they want." Just then, Jake's communication officer knocked on the door. "Admiral, we're getting a strange message from the outer colonies. It's very weak, but you should hear it." They went to the bridge. The officer played Henry Walsh's message. The voice was full of static, but they could hear the fear. "This is Henry Walsh on New Colorado. The council ships are attacking us. They're not here to help. They're destroying everything. The pirates. Story is a lie. Don't trust them. Don't trust the council." The bridge went quiet. Every officer stared at the speakers. Jake felt like someone had hit him in the chest. "Play it again." he said. They listened to Henry's message 3 more times. Each time it sounded worse. "Sir," said the communication officer, "we're getting a priority signal from the Council flagship. Ambassador Zethkri wants to speak with you." Jake looked at Lisa and Amanda. "Put him on screen." The alien appeared on the main viewing screen. Zethkri looked like a tall lizard that walked on 2 legs. His skin was green and his eyes were yellow. He always smiled, but the smile never looked friendly. "Admiral Morrison," Zethkri said in his strange voice, "I bring good news. The Council has decided to upgrade your fleet. All human ships will be taken to our shipyards for better weapons and shields." "What about our crews?" Jake asked. "They will receive advanced training at our military schools." "It is a great honor." Jake tried to keep his face calm, but inside he was screaming. Now he understood. The Council wasn't upgrading human ships. They were taking them away. The advanced training was probably a prison camp. "When does this start?" Jake asked. "Tomorrow. Council ships will escort your vessels to the shipyards. Please prepare your crews for transport." The screen went dark. Jake turned to his officers. They all looked scared. "They're not our friends," Lisa said quietly. "No," Jake said. "They never were. They've been planning this since the day we met them." Amanda spoke up. "The hidden programs in their technology. They've been studying us, learning our weaknesses." Jake walked to the window again. Outside, the Council ships waited like hungry wolves. Soon, they would move in for the kill. But Jake Morrison had not lived through 30 years of war to give up now. If the Council wanted a fight, he would give them one they would never forget. "Get me a secure channel to all human colonies," he told his communication officer. "It's time to warn everyone." "Sir, the Council monitors all our communications." Jake smiled for the first time in days. It was not a nice smile. "Good. Let them hear this." The false peace was over. The real war was about to begin. Jake Morrison stood in his command room, looking at reports that made his blood boil. Half of Earth's fleet had already been taken to Council shipyards. The crews were gone, sent to training centers that no one had ever seen before. Captain Lisa Blake burst through the door. "Admiral, we have a problem. The Council just took the UES Denver and the UES Boston. The crews went quietly because they thought it was routine maintenance." "How many ships do we have left?" Jake asked. "Only 12 out of 40, and the Council is coming for those tomorrow." Jake hit his desk with his fist. "We need to find out what's really happening to our people." Lisa nodded. "I'm putting together a team to investigate. Commander Ryan Parker volunteered to lead it. He's our best scout." Ryan Parker was a young officer with sharp eyes and quick thinking. He had grown up on a space station and knew how to move around ships without being seen. If anyone could find the truth, it was him. "Do it," Jake said. "But be careful. If the Council catches him—" "I know," Lisa said. 2 days later, Ryan Parker floated in space near a Council facility called Station Omega-7. He wore a special suit that made him hard to see on scanners. His small ship was hidden behind an asteroid. Through his telescope, Ryan watched Council ships coming and going from the station. But what made his stomach turn were the human ships. Dozens of them sat in the station's docking bays, empty and dark. Ryan moved closer to the station. He found an old maintenance tunnel that led inside. The Council had not changed the human-built parts of their stations, so the tunnel still worked. Inside the station, Ryan heard voices. Human voices, screaming in pain. He followed the sounds through dark hallways. What he found made him want to throw up. The Council had human prisoners in small cells. Scientists in white coats were doing experiments on them. They were testing how much pain humans could feel, how long they could go without food, how their bodies worked when they were afraid. Ryan took pictures with a tiny camera. He recorded the alien scientists talking about their research subjects. The humans weren't being trained. They were being studied like animals in a laboratory. One of the prisoners was Captain Mike Stevens from the UES Denver. Ryan knew him well. Mike had been a strong, proud officer. Now he looked thin and scared. The aliens had been using him to test new weapons. Ryan wanted to help, but he was just one man against a whole station. He had to get this information back to Admiral Morrison, but as he tried to leave, an alien guard saw him. "Intruder!" The guard shouted. Ryan ran through the hallways as alarms began to sound. He reached his ship just as Council fighters started chasing him. His small ship was fast, and he knew how to fly better than the alien pilots. He escaped into an asteroid field where the bigger ships couldn't follow. Back on Earth, Dr. Amanda Foster worked day and night to remove Council technology from human systems. It was like performing surgery on a patient who was dying. Every piece of alien tech had to be found and removed without destroying the systems it was connected to. "How? Much longer?" asked her assistant, Dr. Gary Williams. "Days, maybe weeks," Amanda said. "The Council has been very clever. Their spy programs are woven into everything. What if we don't have weeks?" Amanda looked at him with tired eyes. "Then we're all dead." She had made one important discovery. The Council races were all connected by something called a quantum neural network. It let them share thoughts and coordinate their actions perfectly, but it also made them vulnerable. If someone could attack the network, it might hurt all of them at once. Amanda started working on a weapon that could use this weakness against them. On Earth, President Claire Adams called an emergency meeting. She sat at a big table with her top advisors. General Pete Stone, the head of Earth's army, looked angry and worried. "Madam President," General Stone said, "we have a serious problem. Council troops are stationed on every human colony world. They say it's for joint training exercises, but my sources tell me they're really there to control the population." "How many troops?" President Adams asked. "Thousands, maybe tens of thousands. They're positioned at key locations, power plants, communication centers, spaceports." Defense Secretary Carl Turner spoke up. "We also have reports that Council ships are blocking all travel between colonies. They say it's for security, but no one can leave their planets." President Adams felt the weight of leadership on her shoulders. She had trusted the Council. She had believed they wanted to help humanity join the galactic community. Now she realized they had been planning to destroy humanity from the beginning. "What are our options?" she asked. General Stone spread out a map on the table. "Limited. Most of our fleet is gone. Our colonies are occupied. The Council controls our communications and our transportation. What about Admiral Morrison?" "He's still free, but not for long. The Council wants his remaining ships tomorrow." President Adams made a decision that would change everything. "Send a message to Admiral Morrison. Tell him to ignore Council orders. Tell him to do whatever he thinks is best to protect humanity. Ma'am, that's technically treason against the Council treaty. The Council broke the treaty first when they started experimenting on our people." When Ryan Parker returned to the UES Liberty, he went straight to Admiral Morrison's office. He showed Jake and Lisa the pictures and recordings from the Council station. Jake's face turned red with anger as he watched the footage. "Those monsters," he said. "They're torturing our people." "It gets worse," Ryan said. "I heard the scientists talking. They're studying human military tactics and human biology. They want to learn everything about us before they kill us all." Lisa looked at the pictures of Captain Stevens. "We have to rescue them." "With what?" Jake asked. "We have 12 ships against their thousands." "Then we get more ships," Lisa said. Jake thought for a moment. "You're right. But not military ships. The Council has taken those. We need to think differently." He called his communication officer. "Get me a secure channel to every human colony, every space station, every ship captain who's still free." "Sir, the Council will hear everything." "Good. I want them to hear this." Jake stepped in front of the communication camera. His message would go out to every human in space. "This is Admiral Jake Morrison of the United Earth Navy. 3 years ago, we joined the Galactic Council in peace and friendship. Today, I learned that the Council has betrayed us. They are not our allies. They are our enemies." He showed the pictures Ryan had taken. "This is what they're doing to our people. This is what they plan to do to all of us." Jake's voice got stronger. "The Council thinks humans are weak. They think we'll surrender without a fight. They're wrong. To every human ship captain, every colony leader, every free human in the galaxy, We're going to fight back. Join me if you want to live free." The message ended. Jake looked at Lisa and Ryan. Now we see who's willing to stand up to the council. Within hours, Jake's communication board lit up with responses. Ship captains, colony governors, space miners, trade vessel crews. Hundreds of humans were volunteering to fight. But the council's response was swift and brutal. Ambassador Zethkri appeared on every human communication screen. His yellow eyes looked cold and angry. "Humans of Earth and the colonies," he said. "Your Admiral Morrison has made a grave mistake. You have 24 hours to surrender all remaining military vessels and submit to council authority. If you refuse, we will consider you an enemy of galactic peace." Zethkri's smile was cruel. "Your species has been judged unstable and dangerous. You adapt too quickly. You fight too hard. You refuse to follow proper galactic order. Therefore, the Council has voted. Humanity will be relocated to secure facilities for the safety of all galactic citizens." The screen showed pictures of barren planets with prison camps. "These are your new homes. You will be comfortable there while we decide your final fate." The message ended with a threat that made Jake's blood run cold. "Resist, and we will sterilize your worlds. Your choice is simple. Surrender and live in captivity, or fight and die as a species." Jake turned off the screen and looked at his officers. "Well, they've made their position clear." "What do we do?" Lisa asked. Jake walked to the window and looked out at Earth, the beautiful blue planet where humanity had been born. The Council wanted to cage his species like animals. They wanted to study humans until they found a way to control them or eliminate them. "We show them what humans do when someone threatens our families," Jake said. "We show them why they should have left us alone." The Council had made one mistake. They thought humans would be afraid. They thought humans would surrender. But fear and surrender were not in human nature. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when you backed a human into a corner. Admiral Jake Morrison knew he had to act fast. The Council's deadline was only hours away. He called together the captains of his remaining ships in a secret meeting on an old mining station in the asteroid belt. "We can't fight the Council with 12 military ships," Jake said to the group. "But we can fight them with human cleverness." Captain Lisa Blake had already started working on a plan. "We're going to disappear, take our ships to hidden bases throughout the solar system, use asteroid mines, old research stations, anywhere the Council won't think to look." "What about supplies?" asked Captain Ray Collins from the UES Phoenix. "We steal them," Jake said simply. "The Council has supply ships moving through our space every day. We take what we need." Engineer Kate Sullivan raised her hand. She was the best ship mechanic in the fleet. "Admiral, I have an idea about the ships. Most humans in space aren't military. They're civilians with cargo ships, mining vessels, passenger liners. But what if we could turn those ships into warships?" Jake liked the way she thought. "Explain." Kate pulled out her tablet and showed them pictures of different ship types. A cargo ship can carry missiles instead of trade goods. A mining ship has powerful lasers for cutting rocks. Those same lasers can cut through enemy armor. A passenger liner has strong engines for long trips. We can make it fast enough to outrun Council fighters. "What about weapons?" asked Captain Julie Martinez. "We build them," Kate said. "Human engineers are good at making things work. We take Council technology and use it in ways they never thought of. We make weapons they won't expect." Jake smiled. "I like it. Kate, you're in charge of ship modifications. Take whatever people and equipment you need." "Yes, sir." Jake turned to Commander Ryan Parker, who had discovered the Council's prison camps. "Ryan, I have a special job for you. You're going to lead hit-and-run attacks on Council supply lines. Take a fast ship and a small crew, hit them hard and disappear before they can fight back." "What about the prisoners, sir? The humans in the Council camps?" "We'll get them out. But first we need to build a fleet strong enough to fight the Council." Over the next weeks, Jake's plan began to work. Human ships disappeared from normal space routes. To the Council, it looked like they had scattered in fear. In reality, they were gathering in secret places, getting ready for war. Kate Sullivan worked like a woman possessed. She and her team of engineers modified ship after ship. The luxury cruise liner Star Princess became a missile boat that could launch 100 rockets in 10 seconds. The mining ship Rocky Mountain had its rock-cutting lasers turned into weapons that could slice through enemy hulls. The most impressive conversion was the cargo ship Big Bear. Kate's team stripped out the cargo holds and filled them with fighter bays. Now it could carry 50 small fighters inside its hull, appearing to be a harmless transport ship until it opened up and released its deadly swarm. Meanwhile, Ryan Parker was causing havoc throughout the solar system. His ship, the Night Hunter, was a modified scout vessel that could move fast and strike without warning. Ryan's crew included some of the best pilots and gunners in the fleet. Their first target was a council supply convoy heading to the prison stations. Ryan's team followed the convoy for days, learning its route and schedule. Then they struck at the perfect moment. The Night Hunter came out of nowhere, appearing behind the convoy like a ghost. Ryan's gunners targeted the supply ship's engines, disabling them without destroying the valuable cargo inside. In 10 minutes, the convoy was helpless. Ryan's people quickly transferred medical supplies, food, and weapons to their own ship. They also found something even more valuable, a council communication device that would let them listen to enemy radio traffic. Before leaving, Ryan sent a message to the council escort ships. "Tell your commanders that humans don't surrender. We fight back." As the weeks passed, more attacks followed. Council convoys started traveling with heavier escorts, but it didn't help. Human ships would appear from asteroid fields, attack quickly, and vanish before reinforcements could arrive. Their council was getting frustrated. Their commander, Admiral Vorthak, called a meeting with his officers. "How are these primitive humans avoiding our sensors?" he demanded. "They're using unconventional tactics," his intelligence officer replied. "They hide in places we don't expect. They modify their ships in ways our databases don't recognize. Find them and destroy them." But the humans were already one step ahead. Dr. Amanda Foster had completed her most important project, a weapon that could attack the Council's quantum neural network. She called it the Neural Cascade device. It was a small machine that could send a special signal through space. When the signal reached ships connected to the Council network, it would overload their systems and cause chaos. Amanda tested the device on a captured Council fighter. The results were better than she had hoped. The alien ship's computers crashed. Its weapon stopped working, and the pilot became confused and disoriented. "This could change everything," she told Jake during a secret meeting on the hidden base. "If we can get close enough to a Council command ship, we can shut down their entire fleet." "How close?" Jake asked. "Very close. The device has a limited range. We'd need to be within a few hundred kilometers." Jake thought about it. "That's almost suicide range. Their command ships are heavily protected." "I know, but it might be our only chance to level the playing field." While Amanda perfected her weapon, humans on the occupied colony worlds were fighting their own war. On New Colorado, survivors like Henry Walsh had come out of hiding and formed resistance groups. Tony Clark, a mechanic from the destroyed spaceport, had become a guerrilla leader. He taught other colonists how to build bombs from farming equipment and mining explosives. They attacked Council patrols at night, then disappeared into the wilderness before reinforcements arrived. Beth Warren, who had been a schoolteacher before the invasion, now coordinated intelligence gathering. She organized the civilians to watch Council movements and relay information to the hidden resistance bases. "The Council troops are getting nervous," she reported to Tony during one of their secret meetings. "They're staying in their compounds. More, they're afraid to patrol alone." "Good," Tony said. "Fear makes them make mistakes." The resistance fighters couldn't match the Council's advanced weapons, but they had advantages the aliens didn't expect. They knew the local terrain perfectly. They understood how to blend in with the remaining civilian population. Most importantly, they had the determination that came from fighting for their homes and families. One night, Tony's group staged their biggest attack yet. They hit a Council supply depot that stored food and medical supplies meant for the prison camps. Using explosives hidden in farming trucks, they destroyed the depot and escaped with valuable supplies. The explosion could be seen for kilometers. More importantly, it sent a message to every human on the planet. The resistance was alive and growing stronger. But the Council's response was swift and brutal. They rounded up 100 random civilians and threatened to execute them unless the resistance surrendered. Tony and his fighters faced a terrible choice: save the hostages and give up their fight, or continue the resistance and let innocent people die. Beth Warren made the decision for them. "We don't surrender to terrorists," she said. "And that's what the Council is. Terrorists who threaten innocent people to get what they want." Instead of surrendering, the resistance fighters launched a daring rescue mission. They attacked the Council compound where the hostages were being held, using tunnels that Tony's engineering teams had dug under the base. The fight was fierce and desperate. Many resistance fighters died, but they saved most of the hostages. More importantly, they proved that humans wouldn't be intimidated by Council threats. News of the rescue spread to other colony worlds. Soon, resistance groups were forming everywhere humans lived. The Council found themselves fighting not just Jake's hidden fleet, but millions of angry colonists who refused to be caged. Back on his secret base, Jake Morrison received reports from across human space. Ryan Parker's raiders had captured 3 more supply convoys and rescued 50 prisoners from a Council transport. Kate Sullivan's modified ships were ready for battle. Amanda Foster's weapon was complete and tested. Most importantly, President Claire Adams had secretly evacuated Earth's most important leaders and scientists to hidden bases throughout the solar system. If the Council attacked Earth, humanity's government would survive to continue the fight. Jake looked at the reports and felt something he hadn't felt in weeks: hope. The Council had started this war thinking humans would be easy to defeat. They had expected quick surrender from a primitive species. Instead, they found themselves fighting an enemy that adapted faster than they could respond. An enemy that used tactics they had never seen before. An enemy that refused to give up no matter how bad things looked. The Council's advantage in numbers and technology was still overwhelming. But humans had something the aliens didn't understand: the refusal to accept defeat. Jake called his officers together for a final planning meeting. "It's time to stop hiding and start fighting back for real," he said. "The Council wants to study us? Let's give them a lesson they'll never forget." Outside the hidden base, human ships prepared for the largest battle in their species' history. Admiral Jake Morrison stood in the main hangar of the secret base, looking at the most unusual fleet ever assembled. Ships of every size and type floated in the asteroid field. Luxury cruise liners bristling with missile pods, mining barges equipped with military-grade lasers, cargo haulers converted into fighter carriers. "It's not what I would have chosen," Captain Lisa Blake said as she joined him. "But it's what we have." Jake nodded. "Sometimes the best weapon is the one your enemy doesn't expect." The plan was ambitious and desperate. Jake had decided to unite every free human ship into one massive fleet. He called it Operation Phoenix because humanity would rise from the ashes of the Council's betrayal. Engineer Kate Sullivan approached them, wiping oil from her hands. "Admiral, the modifications are complete. We have over 2,000 ships, ready for combat. It's not pretty, but it will work." "What about standardization?" Lisa asked. "All these different ship types with different systems?" Kate smiled tiredly. "That's actually an advantage. The Council fights by analyzing enemy patterns and adapting their tactics. But how do you analyze chaos? Every ship in our fleet works differently. Their battle computers won't know what to expect." Jake had to admit Kate was brilliant. She had turned humanity's weakness into a strength. The Council expected organized military formations. Instead, they would face a swarm of unpredictable vessels. Commander Ryan Parker had been busy too. His raids on Council supply lines had rescued over 300 prisoners, including many experienced ship captains and officers. Among them was Admiral Scott Myers, Jake's former teacher at the Naval Academy. Scott was older now, his hair gray from captivity, but his eyes still burned with determination. "Jake," he said during their reunion, "they made a mistake keeping me alive. I know things about Council technology they think are secret." "What kind of things?" Scott smiled grimly. "During my captivity, I saw their command ships up close. I know their weaknesses. And I know about some weapons projects Earth was working on before the betrayal. He explained that Earth scientists had been developing several prototype weapon systems. The projects had been hidden from the Council, disguised as civilian research. The weapons were still in secret bunkers on Earth, waiting to be used. The most important one is Project Thunder, Scott said. It's a new type of missile that can punch through any shield. We only built 50 of them, but 50 might be enough to change a battle. Jake felt excitement building. Can we get to them? That's the problem. They're on Earth, and Earth is surrounded by Council ships. Dr. Amanda Foster had her own contribution to the growing arsenal. She had refined her neural cascade device and built 20 copies. Each device could disrupt Council quantum networks in a small area, causing confusion and coordination failures. The effect lasts about 10 minutes, she explained to Jake's War Council. But 10 minutes of confusion could be enough to break their formation and attack their command ships. How do we deliver the devices? Lisa asked. We need fast ships that can get close to Council command vessels. Very close, the pilots probably won't survive the mission. Jake felt the weight of command on his shoulders. He was asking people to die for humanity's freedom, but the alternative was extinction or eternal slavery. I'll find volunteers, he said quietly. He didn't have to look hard. When Jake explained the mission, hundreds of pilots stepped forward. They knew it was suicide, but they also knew it might save their species. Captain Julie Martinez from the modified passenger liner Star Princess was the first to volunteer. My ship is fast and can carry one of Dr. Foster's devices. If it gives our fleet a chance, I'm in. Others quickly followed. Fighter pilots, transport captains, even civilian volunteers who had never flown combat missions. They all understood what was at stake. While Jake assembled his suicide squadrons, the resistance movements on the colony worlds were preparing for their own part in the battle. Tony Clark and Beth Warren had been coordinating with resistance, cells on dozens of planets. When the fleet attacks, we hit every Council installation simultaneously, Tony explained during a secret conference call. Communications centers, supply depots, troop barracks. We keep them busy on the ground while Admiral Morrison fights them in space. Beth had organized civilians to document Council war crimes and send the evidence to neutral alien races. The Council rules through fear and propaganda, she said. If other species see what they're really doing to humans, maybe some of them will refuse to support the Council. On Earth, President Claire Adams worked from a hidden bunker deep underground. She had evacuated the most important government officials and scientists to secret locations throughout the solar system. If Earth was destroyed, humanity's leadership would survive to continue the fight. General Pete Stone commanded Earth's remaining defenses from another bunker. We have orbital defense platforms hidden in the asteroid belt, he reported to the president. The Council thinks we're defenseless, but we can give them a surprise. The Council, meanwhile, was preparing their final assault. Admiral Vorthak commanded a fleet of over 10,000 ships from 12 different alien races. They had advanced weapons, energy shields, and perfect coordination through their quantum neural network. The human resistance has been more troublesome than expected, Vorthak told his officers. But it ends today. We will sterilize their homeworld and hunt down every remaining human ship. Ambassador Zethkri, the lizard-like alien who had lied to humanity for 3 years, stood beside him. The human specimens we captured have provided valuable data. Their aggression and adaptability genes must not be allowed to spread through the galaxy. What about the other alien races? Some of them seem sympathetic to the humans. Zethkri's yellow eyes were cold. Any race that objects to human extermination will be reminded of their place in the galactic order. The Council has ruled for 10,000 years. We will not let a primitive species upset the balance, but the Council had made one crucial error. They still thought of humans as a primitive species. They expected humans to fight like the other races they had conquered, with conventional tactics, predictable strategies, and eventual surrender. When the odds became hopeless, they didn't understand that humans had evolved as persistence hunters. Humans didn't give up when the prey was stronger or faster. They kept pursuing until the prey collapsed from exhaustion. The Council was about to learn what it meant to be hunted by humans. Jake Morrison assembled his fleet in the shadow of Jupiter. Over 3,000 ships of every imaginable type formed, the largest human armada in history. Former cruise passengers served alongside military veterans. Cargo ship captains took orders from fighter pilots. Mining crews prepared to battle the most advanced alien technology in the galaxy. Jake broadcast a message to the entire fleet. 3 years ago, the Council welcomed us to the galaxy as friends. Today, we know that was a lie. They never wanted us as allies. They wanted to study us, control us, and eventually eliminate us. He paused, looking at the faces on his communication screens. Faces of people who had left everything behind to fight for their species' survival. The Council thinks humans are dangerous because we adapt too quickly and fight too hard. They're right. We are dangerous. We're dangerous to anyone who threatens our families, our freedom, and our future among the stars. Jake's voice grew stronger. Today, we show the galaxy what happens when you underestimate humanity. Today, we teach the Council why they should have left us alone. The fleet began moving toward Earth, toward the final battle that would decide humanity's fate. They were outnumbered 3-1. Their ships were converted civilian vessels facing military dreadnoughts. Their weapons were improvised and their tactics were untested. But they were humans. And humans had survived ice ages, plagues, wars, and natural disasters that had destroyed other species. They had climbed from caves to starships in just a few thousand years. Now they would show the galaxy what human determination looked like, when it was focused on a single goal: survival. The Vengeance. Armada moved through space like a storm approaching the shore. Behind them, they left empty hiding places and exhausted supply bases. Ahead of them waited the largest alien fleet ever assembled against a single species. But Jake Morrison felt no fear as he watched Earth grow larger on his view screen. He felt only the cold anger of a species that had been betrayed, and the burning determination of a people who refused to go quietly into extinction. The Council wanted to study human nature. They were about to get the most comprehensive lesson in human psychology ever conducted. They would learn about human courage, human rage, and human refusal to accept defeat. The lesson would be written in fire across the vacuum of space. The Council fleet arrived at Earth like a dark cloud blocking out the stars. Admiral Vorthak commanded over 10,000 ships from 12 alien races, the largest war fleet in galactic history. They expected to find a broken, defenseless world ready for conquest. Instead, they found hell waiting for them. Admiral Jake Morrison watched from the bridge of the UES Liberty as Council ships spread out around Earth. His Vengeance Armada was hidden throughout the solar system, behind moons, inside asteroid fields, even disguised as space debris floating near Earth's orbit. All ships, this is Admiral Morrison. He broadcast on a secure channel. Remember the plan. We hit them from every direction at once. Make them think there are twice as many of us as there really are. Captain Lisa Blake commanded a squadron of converted cargo ships hiding behind Mars. Ready when you are, Admiral. Commander. Ryan Parker led the fast attack group concealed in the asteroid belt. Night hunters standing by. Engineer Kate Sullivan's heavily modified ships waited near Jupiter's moons. Conversion fleet ready to rock and roll. On Earth, General Pete Stone prepared the hidden defense platforms. Ground defenses online. We'll give them a warm welcome. The battle began when Admiral Vorthak sent a message to Earth demanding immediate surrender. President Claire Adams, broadcasting from her secret bunker, gave humanity's response. To the Galactic Council. You came to us in friendship, and we welcomed you. You betrayed that friendship and tried to destroy us. Now you will learn why humans have survived every challenge our universe has thrown at us. We don't surrender. We don't submit. We fight back. Vorthak's reply was to order the bombardment of Earth's major cities. But as Council ships moved into attack position, Jake Morrison gave the signal that would change galactic history forever. All ships, all units, all humans everywhere, attack. The solar system exploded into chaos. Human ships appeared from everywhere at once. The modified cruise liner Star Princess emerged from behind Earth's moon, launching 100 missiles in the first volley. Mining barges that had been disguised as asteroids suddenly powered up their rock-cutting lasers and began slicing through council halls. The cargo ship Big Bear opened like a flower of death, releasing 50 fighters from its hidden bays. The council sensors had detected one large, slow transport. Suddenly, they faced a swarm of fast attack craft. "What are these ships?" Vorthak demanded as his formation broke apart under the unexpected assault. "Our intelligence said humans had only 12 military vessels remaining." His tactical officer was equally confused. "Sir, their ships don't match any known configurations. Our battle computers can't predict their movements or weapons patterns." That was exactly what Kate Sullivan had planned. Every human ship fought differently because every ship was different. The Council's advanced battle computers designed to analyze and counter enemy tactics couldn't cope with pure chaos. Ryan Parker's Night Hunters struck from the asteroid belt, hitting Council supply, ships and communications vessels. His raiders moved like ghosts, appearing long enough to cause damage before vanishing back into the rocks. "Council command ship identified," Ryan reported to Jake. "It's that big one in the center, shaped like a crystal. I'm taking my squadron. In for an attack run." "Negative," Jake replied. "That's Dr. Foster's mission. Stay with the plan." Dr. Amanda Foster sat in the pilot seat of a small, fast ship called the Science Runner. Next to her was the neural cascade device that could disrupt the Council's quantum network. Getting close enough to use it meant flying through the heaviest defenses in the galaxy. "Beginning attack run," she reported calmly. Behind her, Captain Julie Martinez led 19 other volunteer pilots in their own suicide runs. Each ship carried one of Foster's devices. If even one of them reached the Council command vessels, it might change the battle. The volunteers flew into a storm of alien weapons fire. Council fighters swarmed around them like angry insects. Energy beams and missiles filled space with deadly light. One by one, the human ships were destroyed. But each pilot fought until the last second, drawing enemy fire and clearing the way for the others. Julie Martinez's ship took a direct hit that destroyed her engines, but she was close enough. "For humanity!" she screamed as she activated her neural cascade device. The effect was immediate and devastating. Every Council ship within 100 kilometers suddenly lost coordination. The quantum network that connected their minds was overloaded with chaotic signals. Pilots became confused, weapon systems misfired, and ships collided with each other. Dr. Foster reached the main command vessel as its defenses faltered. She activated her device just as enemy fighters closed in on her ship. The Science Runner exploded in a ball of fire, but Foster's mission was complete. The neural cascade spread through the Council's quantum network like a virus. Ship after ship lost coordination as their pilots' minds were flooded with electronic noise. The perfect formation that had made the Council fleet so deadly dissolved into chaos. Jake Morrison saw his chance. "All ships full attack, hit them while they're confused." The human fleet struck like a pack of wolves. Ships that had been hiding throughout the solar system converged on the disorganized Council forces. The modified civilian vessels proved surprisingly effective in close combat, using unconventional tactics that the aliens couldn't predict or counter. Kate Sullivan's mining ship, Rocky Thunder, used its industrial lasers to slice through a Council destroyer's armor like cutting paper. The passenger liner New Hope, now bristling with missile launchers, took out 3 enemy fighters in a single volley. On Earth, General Stone's hidden defense platforms revealed themselves. Weapons that the Council thought were destroyed years ago suddenly came online, adding their firepower to the human assault. But the Council had one more surprise. Admiral Vorthak, his own ship damaged by the neural cascade, activated an emergency protocol. "All ships, activate biological weapons. If we cannot control the humans, we will exterminate them completely." Council ships began releasing clouds of deadly gas designed to kill every living thing on Earth. The atmosphere itself became a weapon, but humans had planned for this too. President Adams activated Project Clean Sweep, a network of orbital purification systems that had been disguised as weather satellites. The machines worked frantically to neutralize the alien toxins before they could reach Earth's surface. The battle reached its climax when Jake Morrison led a direct assault on Vorthak's flagship. The UES Liberty, supported by Admiral Scott Myers, in a rebuilt destroyer, punched through the Council's defensive line. "This is for every human you murdered," Jake said, as he fired the secret weapons Scott had told him about. Project Thunder missiles, designed to penetrate any shield, tore through the alien flagship's defenses. Vorthak tried to escape, but Lisa Blake's squadron was waiting. The Council Admiral's ship was surrounded and disabled. With their command, structure in chaos, and their biological weapons neutralized, the Council fleet began to retreat. But Jake Morrison wasn't finished with them. "All ships pursue and destroy," he ordered. "No Council ship leaves this system alive." The human fleet chased the aliens through space, using their superior knowledge of the solar system to cut off escape routes. Ships that had once carried passengers on pleasure cruises now hunted down the galaxy's most advanced warships. When the battle ended, over 8,000 Council ships had been destroyed or captured. The survivors limped away toward alien space, their perfect fleet shattered and their quantum network permanently damaged. Ambassador Zethkri, captured when his diplomatic vessel was surrounded, found himself standing before Admiral Morrison on the bridge of the UES Liberty. "You have made a terrible mistake," the alien said. "The Council has allies throughout the galaxy. They will avenge this defeat." Jake looked at the lizard-like creature with cold eyes. "Let them come. We'll be ready." "You cannot defeat the entire galaxy." "We don't want to defeat the galaxy," Jake replied. "We just want to be left alone to live our lives in peace. But if anyone threatens humanity again, they'll get the same treatment you got today." Jake turned to his communication officer. "Send a message to every alien government in the galaxy. Tell them that humans are not conquerors, but we are survivors. Anyone who wants to trade with us or be our friends is welcome. Anyone who wants to control us or eliminate us will face the same fate as the Council." In the weeks that followed, the galaxy learned about the Battle of Earth. The mighty Galactic Council had been defeated by a species they considered primitive. Human ships, built from converted civilian vessels, had destroyed the most advanced war fleet in known space. The political effects were immediate. Several alien races withdrew from the Council, declaring their independence. Others demanded investigations into Council policies toward younger species. Dr. Foster's research into quantum neural networks revolutionized galactic science. Her discoveries led to new forms of communication and computing that didn't rely on the Council's monopolistic systems. Kate Sullivan became the most famous engineer in human space, as every species wanted to learn her ship modification techniques. Human adaptive engineering became a valued trade skill throughout the galaxy. President Adams addressed the United Nations from the rebuilt White House,